Hey guys, it's Gene here. I got a question for you. What percentage of your tree care volume is soil fertility? What percentage is plant health care? I have this kind of stuck up philosophy that I've kind of developed and formed over the years. It's if all you do is removals and pruning, then you're just a tree guy, even if you do have an arborist certification, right? I I want to know how much time you devote to root collar health. Do you have an air spade? I don't think you need one. You can do a root collar without one, but you can't really do like legit soil reconditioning without one. Now, a lot of you guys are doing some tree risk assessment. Your tree risk assessment qualified. And so you may do some of that type of work in addition to pruning and removals. See, I feel like if you're starting to do tree risk assessment, and if you're installing cables, lightning protection systems, props, guys, now you're practicing arboriculture. You're not just doing pruning and removals, right? If you're collecting soil samples, if you got a Dutch auger or another type of soil probe, and you do a lot of soil samples and soil reports, if you send a lot of stuff out to the lab, do you do a lot of diagnostics? I want to know. I want to know from you guys. Do you, excuse me, I want to know from you guys, do you do a lot of lab samples and stuff? So I feel like, 30-40% of your volume should be soil fertility and plant health care, disease management, killing caterpillars, killing aphids, killing mites, suppressing root rot, leaf disease, that sort of thing. All the sort of things that make trees happy, right? And that's what we really want to do. That's the profession we're committed to, is making trees happy. And when we're talking about pruning, are you taking a prescriptive approach to pruning? Are you saying, all right, I recognize that all pruning is wounding and that no plant parts should be removed from a plant without a good reason, and we've established some goals. We want to prepare for hurricane season, or we want to reduce the risk of failure, and we want to provide clearance, or we want to improve shape, or we want to maintain shape, or restore the crown. So we've established some goals, and now I want to know what's the minimum amount of live foliage to remove from the plant in order to achieve that goal, right? So, are you taking a prescriptive approach to pruning trees? Are you saying, what's the goal and what's the prescription to achieve that goal, right? Are you taking a prescriptive approach to soil management? Are you just laying down BioPack Plus or whatever it is that, they're selling to the tree guys these days? Or are you looking at soil reports? Are you looking at the micronutrients? Are you looking at the pH? Are you looking at soil organic matter? I think it's wonderful that we can quantify the amount of organic matter in the soil. And I think it's wonderful that we can quantify nutrient retention capacity, or what do we call it? Cation exchange capacity. These are some things that are like super duper important. And you can do a lot to make a tree happy. But if it's out, and especially if it's outside your comfort zone, I really encourage you to dip into that and try to expand the range and variety of the services that you provide as an arborist. Start providing, and I don't know that I would encourage you just to jump on the whole trunk injection bandwagon. I know there's lots of fancy kits for injecting into trunks, and yes, we do trunk injections. I've got a trunk injection that's happening tomorrow. Some things you just can't avoid it. That's the only treatment method. But to me, I'd really rather have the roots do the work that they need to do. And I want the soil to be in a position to have a good, healthy cubic volume of fibrous feeder root mass. That's so important to me. It's so important to keeping a tree happy, right? Leaf population is one thing, but fibrous feeder root mass is another thing. And if those two things, or the root shoot ratio is off, as they say, then your tree's ability to withstand moisture extremes, temperature extremes, and abiotic stress factors is going to be diminished. So I really think it's important. Again, what about you guys? What kind of services are you providing other than just pruning and removals? I'm sure you guys are doing some really technical removals. You're probably the best removal people out there. Technical rigging techniques, I think that's all great. But I really want you guys to start looking for opportunities to install cables and do lightning protection systems and stuff like that. I think it's going to expand you as an arborist, and you're going to do a better job of making trees happier. Thank you for tuning in, and if you click through to the next video, of course, the YouTube algorithm will smile upon me, and thanks for watching.